Holly, welcome. Peter Dutton is considering legal action over claims that he is a racist for wanting to pause Palestinian immigration. Is he right to go legal on this?
Isn't it extraordinary, though, evening to you both, but, you know, the fact that any of these teals on the left, the Labor Party and, you know, we know the Greens, they just go straight for the personal smears. It doesn't matter what it is or who, you know, as a Conservative saying something, they go straight for the personal attacks. Peter Dutton's history would absolutely demonstrate that he is not a racist. He's not racist in any way. And I think the overwhelming majority of Australians would support his position when it comes from ensuring that Australians are kept safe from those who may support Hamas, a known terrorist organisation.
Absolutely, and in the end it is not racist to have genuine concerns about this or to ask questions. It's just an extraordinary smear, Holly Hughes. It doesn't make sense. Now look, I want to ask you about this catastrophic blunder by the New South Wales Liberal Party. You've failed to register candidates for the upcoming local government elections. Holly, seriously, how on earth can something like this happen?
It's really quite extraordinary. And as I heard you just make reference, at state and council elections, the dates are known. They are set in 4-year terms. So it's not like a, you know, federal election that's called at whoever knows, you know, when at whatever time, maybe before May next year. But at state and council level, these things happen at the same time every 4 years. So I do find that excuse a little bit galling. It is a catastrophic failure. I feel incredibly sorry for all of those Liberal councillors and current mayors that are unable to recontest their position, as well as those Liberal candidates who'd put themselves forward, had paid a nomination fee to the division to ensure that this paperwork was completed in time. It's absolutely disgraceful. Some of these people had already started to campaign and spent, in many cases, a lot of their own money on materials such as corflutes and flyers. So I think it's really disappointing. I think it's absolutely something that needs an investigation. You know, maybe I'm not the best person to ask. I have my own doubts about the capabilities of the New South Wales division putting forward the best foot when it comes to campaigns and ensuring they've got everything together. Perhaps federal intervention is a little overdue now.
Well, speaking of the New South Wales Liberal Party's ability to get things done, Holly, if they can't properly represent their own, candidates, what hope representing voters if they were ever elected?
Look, you know, a couple of years ago, they had this big new reform of the Liberal Party, which put in place a state executive. I think it's around 29 people now. Now, I served on the state executive for 14 years when it was a workable size. Thankfully, I was well and truly off it when this new executive shape came into play. It is the most unworkable body and has proved itself to be in election after election. It's rife with factional and self-interest. And I think until that there's some wholesale review of the New South Wales division, I'm leaving it after the next election. Thanks, New South Wales division. But I don't think if I was a lower house candidate in New South Wales federal election, I'd be feeling particularly comfortable with their capabilities to really put the best foot forward for the upcoming federal campaign. Peter Dutton's making too many gains. I think it's too important. New South Wales is the biggest state. We owe it to the Australian people that this Albanese government needs to be shown the door. These teals that are really nothing but greens in Gucci cloaks need to be shown the door. And we need to make sure that Australia has a responsible government that can manage the economy, that will put our nation's security to the fore. And it's not what this government's doing. So I think it is important. I think it is time, certainly for the federal election, that there is some federal oversight of this.
Yeah, absolutely, Holly. We're almost out of time, but I just want to ask you, Israel has uncovered a Hamas plot to exhume the remains of Australian soldiers and hold them prisoner. I mean, this plot predates the Gaza war, but how shocking is this claim?
It is. It's disgusting, but the fact that it does predate what happened on October 7th, shows the level of animosity that Hamas has towards anyone in the West, that it absolutely does not. You know, they want to see the destruction not only of Israel, but everything that the West is and everything the West stands for. And so to think that they would behave this way is another example of why anyone that supports this organisation should not be welcome in our country.
Indeed. Teals are greens in Gucci coats. Senator Hughes, you may have come up with the line of the night. It's still early, but that was very good. Thanks for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time.